Merhaba herkese.
Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome you all to this session of today. We'll be talking about the development agencies' plans in terms of renewable energies. This is the topic of our second session, and our panelists are under the General Secretary of Development Agency, Dr. Mehmet Yavuz, and Dr. Ergen Turgan, and Mehmet Volkan Duman are our presenters, and they will be addressing. We will be addressing our questions about the investment agencies. I will be the moderator of this session. At the same time, we will be talking about the global communications partner of this program. We will be also talking about this program in disseminating messages to national and international media. As I have mentioned today, this is the main topic of today. Development agencies is important, and the role in terms of renewable energies. What have we done so far? This is a 80-minute session in terms of using this efficiently. They will have 2 rounds of 10 minutes, and in the last round, we'll be requesting 5 minutes of a general evaluation. First of all, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Erkan, since he is from Istanbul. He is the host and we are the visitor. I'll be asking about Istanbul. So we have a density in Istanbul in terms of urbanization, the activity. This causes the threat of diminishing the natural resources, especially your agencies. The clean energy applications. What does your agency do? What's your general take on the topic? Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to briefly talk about these development agencies. Development agencies in Turkey, we have 26 development agencies: Istanbul, Izmir, Ankara. And we have these three agencies, 3 cities, and in other cities as well. As you see, it's about planning. In terms of planning, the development plan. Right below the development plan, we have the regional plan. We are preparing the regional plan. We prepare the regional plan. We implement the regional plan. We do some research, some topics. These can be briefly summarized under 3 topics. As you know, development objectives and the funding of the projects of the development agencies. And the second of all, the activities that we are partners of as Istanbul Development Agency in TÜREK. TÜREK is one of our activities. Third of all, the coordination role. Universities, industries, municipalities. Coordination is important. In this coordination, thanks to this coordination, we implement the topics that we have to implement. So what do we do is Istanbul Development Agencies. We have some priority areas. I will not be dwelling long upon, but one is green transformation. And we have the digital transformation, creativity, and the resilience is other topics that we are working on. In terms of green energy, we are talking about clean energy. Clean energy is one of the topics. Of course, the development agency has been operating in different areas. For the last 4 years, we are focusing on some other areas: renewable energies and entrepreneurship, youth and kids are some of the topics that we are operating on. How do we do this? Especially in Istanbul, we have a working style. Our approach is ecosystem style. If we have work to implement, it's not just about implementing the word, it is about strengthening the ecosystem that we have. What do I refer to that in terms of energy? Why and how can we do that? What's our conscious telling us? Awareness, in terms of awareness. Uh, how do we do that? We have to have this consciousness and we have to have this expertise. If you have this objective in Istanbul, for example, if we have this objective of the clean energy in Istanbul, we have to have this transparency, awareness. What have we done from all ages? We have done some activities, organized some activities in order to raise awareness. For example, science centers where the primary school kids are attending. Maybe in high school, organizing a contest in energy efficiency, looking for organizing a hackathon at the universities. This is the awareness topics that we are working on. And the second part, in ecosystem part, awareness. And second part is ecosystem. What do we mean by ecosystem? In universities, maybe there are some application centers, R&D centers, establishment of R&D centers, providing these services, increasing the human capacity or establishing the human capacity, collaboration of university and industry. So what type of steps can we take and support? What do we do? What are our activities and operations? And as we say, we have raised the awareness and we have established the ecosystem, a beginner level ecosystem. Maybe also make it so that it can reach a level, a compatible level, that it can compete with others. Regarding the R&D centers and also initiatives from the states, for the state, and supporting these systems. Networking activities and other activities should be supported. In Izmir and we have in Turek, maybe we stole it and we brought it to Istanbul. It is one of the topics that we are working on. As the development agencies were collaborating, of course, that was just a joke. As the development agencies, our responsibility is inter-regional. There is a difference. We have to diminish the differences of developedness among the regions. Apart from 3 or 4 sectors, Istanbul comes first. If in this industry, if we fall behind Izmir or South Marmara, we have to support them in these parts. Well, in a general aspect framework, we can summarize it. Our activities, of course, investment support office have some consultancy services and initiatives have some details. I don't want to get into details. I don't want to bore you with details. In the main theme of my presentation is to set the framework. I hope you have seen the framework. If I couldn't set the tone, maybe we can also complement it in the question and response part. Thank you so much. Second of all, thank you so much. In the wind plant central, I would like to give the floor to Izmir. Mehmet Yavuz. Izmir, not just biogas, geothermal energy plays a crucial role. So in renewable energy, in terms of global scale and in Izmir scale, can we please talk about this? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you to Turan for hosting us on behalf of our agency. Yes, we always say that geography is our destiny, starting from Izmir. North Asia is playing a very important role. Of course, wind energy potential in Turkey is, where is it? When we can see the thermal map. In the thermal map, we can see Izmir, and up north that are some abundant terrains in terms of wind energy. Also, these equipment production density. We see that it's a grace that is offered us for by the geography, development of the wind energy, and its adventure up to now covers 25 years of period, as you have mentioned in the beginning. In Çeşme province, we established the first wind energy plant. That since that day, from 1998, we continue, as our general secretary talks and has said, we are working in a development agency. As a development agency, we are working towards diminishing the differences in the regions. As you already know, of course, there are some comparative advantages. So they have the upper hand. Among the regions, there is a relationship of the completing one another and establishing a coherence and cohesion up to now. In this aspect, that's what we are dealing with. So it's not possible for us to address these wind energy. We can see a clean energy cycle. Within this clean energy group, wind industry has the upper hand because of the advantages that it has. It has biomass, solar energy, wind, and geothermal energies. These are 4 types of clean energies. It is the unique province that is producing it. As an agency since 2012, as we have seen, starting with the wind, we are working towards this objective hand in hand with all sectors. Maybe in 2010, there are some strategical analysis studies that we have done, and in order to implement it in Turkey, we have these financial support programs. Within these financial support programs in Izmir, in state agencies and private sectors, the establishment of the wind turbines establishment was achieved thanks to the support of our agencies. So incentives from the industry is important, and implementation of the regulations are also important. Thanks to our agency is also stimulating activities through these 2 financial supports. But we're talking about 500 million Turkish liras of funding. They were allocated to these sectors, within the sectors. My General Secretary General mentioned in this ecosystem. So it's a cluster of renewable energies. It is regulations on a national level, and we have to have an inner demand. In this inner demand, we can say that there is a development of local industry. This local domestic industry is clustered around Izmir. These all big-scale factories is being hosted by Izmir province, and the tower factory. All think about this wind turbine. There are a lot of companies producing and supporting. So we can talk about more than 10,000 of employment. So in order to develop this industry, we see it, we evaluate it as a cluster. It plays an eminent role. Based in Izmir, we continue our activities. We also have a European Union energy center, starting with the wind energy in all sectors. We will be seeing what we can do. We will see what we can do, in what areas we have to focus on. Maybe in the second round we can talk about these areas. So maybe this can be the reply to your first question. Thank you so much. Well, as you partially talked about the production of the energy, wind and solar energy, South Marmara Development Agency also in Balıkesir and Çanakkale. As you know, we continue with these processes. Can we get into details of these projects? What is the role of the development agencies in terms of the marine wind energies? What's the role? Thank you so much. In terms of offshore, in in the South Marmara region, it is a leader area. And in this leading area, we can also add sea, marine areas, and the leadership will grow with the hydrogen ecosystem. We can have important objectives. It's not just about transformation of our industry, but also these fuels, exportation of these fuels to Europe. We also have some objectives. In order to achieve these targets, we have to establish more and more renewable energy plants. You need green electric. Of course, we have some bad experiences in 2018. Maybe let me show you. As you can see, these areas, it is declared as YEKA areas. It is important for us in southern Marmara region. It is very important for us. Well, we have to make some detailed analysis, and Ministry of Energy has a tender bid process, but the process continues. As we have said, green fuels and hydrogen and other derivatives from hydrogen is important. We will be talking about our other organizational activities, but we have some advantages. Let me tell you with some details. In 2021, it is a report that it is being updated in terms of renewable energies, energy transplants. We are producing 13% of the electricity. We are talking about just 2 provinces. It is really important. We are focusing on the general green electricity. It's a big power for us. It is an established and big power, and it comes from wind. So 21% of these turbines are established in southern Marmara. In the southern Marmara region, we can also see the green fields. In these green fields, there's a line of Bandırma to Biga line base with the green agreement, with the carbon regulation. We are facing some responsibilities from energy and the cement sector. We can see the chemical plants from around hundreds. We are establishing this ecosystem in this area. In the upcoming periods, maybe we can give some information about this topic. And second of all, it's a critical topic. Maybe in the mid area, it will yield some results. Southern Marmara is an area where these natural gas resources are uniting. It is an advantage in terms of exporting. This is also seen, evaluated by some foreign initiatives. This map is also updated each year. So this is a hydrogen map that's established in the European hydrogen backbone maps. The red lines are hydrogen export lines. this is an important report done by Deloitte, issued by Deloitte. It's a potential hydrogen exporting countries, the green areas. As we have mentioned, we are also talking about derivation of the hydrogen. As you see, methanol and ammonia is the two topics that we are dent to import. As you see that Russia forbade the exportation of ammoniac, and the exploitation of these ammoniac lines made this made the prices go up. It's really important to produce these chemicals. These the two chemicals of four is important. It's a process of energy at the same time. So let me continue. It is just my brief response. Thank you. Well, maybe we can continue with Istanbul with Mr. Erkan in this round. Let's talk about the supports. What's your suggestion on the supports in terms of energy technologies? What's your suggestion? What's your support in the high technology products? What's your developed and how do you commercialize these topics? What are your activities? Can you give us some information? Well, thank you so much. In terms of entrepreneurship, especially the startup model of entrepreneurship, is one of the topics that we are interested in as an agency since day one. We are supporting uninterruptedly. Right now in Istanbul, one of our priorities is supporting and transforming Istanbul to a global entrepreneur city. In the European index, we are within the 15 cities. In the world, we rank in the 53rd city. Our topic, our aim is to be in the 30 cities in the world. San Francisco, Berlin, New York, Paris is in the list. We would like Istanbul to be part of this list as an entrepreneurship list. As we see, yes, this is an understanding of ecosystem. We're not serving to any direct entrepreneurship. We are only supporting, as I have mentioned. Ecosystem needs to be established, needs to be strengthened. What do we need in Istanbul? Well, first, we need establishment of the entrepreneurship. We funded them. Yes, we are funding the entrepreneurship. Well, how do we make these our initiatives more international? We supported these international activities in the United States, in Europe, in Istanbul. Maybe we establish a pavilion. In terms of access to finance, in Turkey, as a development agency, we made a call for the investments. We have become the investor, and the initiatives were attracted to this area. And then the next part, yes, there are a lot of areas in Istanbul, but we need vertical growth. Maybe where they have mentors, where they have initiatives, we need these focus areas, game area, maybe. We also support another center in terms of healthcare facilities. In energy center, Istanbul has scattered energy facilities. Maybe university, we don't really have those. Well, we believe we may need in the upcoming periods. This is our approach. As a development agency, we see ourselves as a startup studio. Well, my point is energy has has a possessor. It's the Ministry of Energy in terms of culture, cultural ministry, and in health, healthcare ministries, and industry, Ministry of Industry. Of course, there is a central property of these topics. What type of additional value and benefit we can offer? Where do we locate ourselves? Of course, there is a state. There is an immense structure formation in a state, and you cannot make the big changes in the state. Maybe you cannot align with the necessities of the sectors. Development agencies are more dynamic. They can take actions, faster actions, and more importantly, our regulations are letting us to be more active, more resilient. Like a startup studio, what can we do? And it is a new thing. Let's try this in terms of initiatives, entrepreneurship. We are operating this for the last 8 years. This is our roadmap. This is our strategy that we have alienated. We have the strategy of Turkey entrepreneurship. We are slowly but surely dominating new areas. What are the new areas that we will be dominating? It can be an energy area. So, developing the technologies, maybe pushing the boundaries of the regulations. There is a concept of sandbox. So, it is trying some activities where you normally don't try, establishing these sandbox and trying these new entrepreneur areas. Also, just establishing mechanisms so that you can hand over to Ministry of Energy, because they are the actual properties of these owners, possessors of this area. So with the regulators, or maybe we can establish stronger relations with the regulators, also the public organizations. The last topic I'd like to touch upon is hopefully in January, the beginning of the next year, we will be issuing a report. Renewable energies, the analysis of the existing situation and the renewable energies, and the private sector's responsibilities will be declared, and it will be showing the existing situation as well as showing up that map of the situation. So after issuing this report, what do we have to do as an agency? We will see. This is our position. Maybe we can also add one thing. Up to now, renewable energy was like a side job for us. When we were investing in the funds, one of the criteria that we had was the impact investment. One of the topics that we invested is it's just these initiatives. Maybe it's about accessibility with the energy, clean energy. It can be about the clean energy. Also, maybe we don't have an initiative. Maybe in terms of impact, we have a special area, special initiatives. We also supported in terms of diminishing this carbon footprint. Well, in this report, we can totally see this. Thank you so much. It is important in order to understand the position of the areas. So let me just turn to Mehmet Yavuz in the first round, we talked about the equipments, production of the equipments in terms of renewable energies. Izmir plays an important role, and in terms of domestication of these products, what can we do? How can we make an evaluation? What is the role of Izmir and the position of Izmir? Can you please tell? Thank you so much. In the first round, yes, of course, I mentioned Izmir is the host of the in this industry. It is the capital of the wind energy. In the world, there are few places which is hosting the three wing three wing areas. We have two important tower producers. It's one of the biggest producers, tower producers, and we're talking about the export of $1 billion. Related with the first round, we have to approach it as a cluster. In this cluster, how can we position this cluster within Turkey's industry? How can we position it in the Europe, especially in the northern geographies? They have these clean energy clusters. They can see new developments in each and every year. What type of action can we take? This is the energy project that we are experiencing. This is the €3 million project. It's a technical project with the coordination of our agency together with business people. We are implementing this project. Starting with the wind within all these industries, with the prospect of the area, what do we have to do, what type of equipments we have to focus on, are some of the topics that we have to analyze. We have made international analysis. When you analyze it, you have to take into consideration of the logistics and also the places, the logistics, infrastructure, and the equipments, target equipments. We detected them. We shared this information with our ministry. One is the production of the wind turbine. Of course, production of the wind turbine manufacturing is important. Manufacturing of the wind turbine makes you a global player. It means it's like having a dog in the automobile sector, as you have Mercedes like dog, such as we produce dog in terms of wind energy. It is like producing wind. It's a strategical choice starting with Izmir, Southern Marmara. There is a corridor that we have to consider. Our industry has infrastructure to produce this. How can we really talk about this within this bidding of YEKA? Together with Kalyon, Siemens has this bid. It was then in the establishment of the R&D center. It started with the modest R&D center where 20 engineers are working, but in Izmir we can see that it is the second biggest center. Maybe we can also raise this global center. So being a host of R&D centers and having hundreds of engineers working is very precious. Aselsan is working in this area. So production of these wind turbines is one of the main topics that we have to evaluate on a global scale. On a regional scale, is Izmir. We will be making these preparations in the industry. The maturity level in the industry shows us the type of reaction that we can take, and the offshore wind energy, as you see, the energy and natural resources minister declared a 5 gigawatts of objective. This is the main objective that we have in the Akdeniz, in Mediterranean region and Aegean region, comparing to the electricity consumption, production cost, it is favorable. Starting with the Marmara region, it is more available. So regarding these wind areas, we can take it to offshore areas with the right moves, right strategic touches. It is important with the west of energy. This is one of the main areas. Maybe we can produce it that Turkey has a saying, has a word in the offshore wind centrals. Maybe you can produce the wings, maybe the towers. So the equipment sizes are maybe really huge. Maybe in an offshore area, it is more than 300 meters. Maybe in the nasals area and the turbines area is maybe more than hundreds of tons. So it is not just the production of these equipments, it's also the establishment of this production, taking it to the offshore areas and also assembly of these areas is important. So in this area, there is a critical part. Logistic infrastructure is important. So in these equipments, maybe you take these equipments, produce these equipments, you cannot take it to any harbor. You can take a look at Spain, Denmark, and Esbjerg in England. Maybe you can see Hull. All of the areas you can see they were located is a harbor area. They are delivered to the harbor, and Turkey needs an area. So in an offshore wind area, we need to have a saying. We need to attract new investments. In a land investment, we need more resources, but this is a project. We have to have a harbor and then a region that is integration. It works in integration. I believe that Chandarlı Harbor port is really available and well fit to this project. Our ministry has some declarations and our industry is working towards this. So the industry working together in relation with this harbor is important. It will also increase the employment. Of course, the entrepreneurship and the initiatives is important. And maybe we are also in touch with the government and in the ministries so that we can develop different initiative models, investment initiative models can be established. With these supports, little supports, we can direct, manage this process. I believe that this industry is growing exponentially, maybe within all these detailed equipments, maybe if they are manufacturing a tower, they can manufacture. It is a transformation. It's a transformation. It's a success story. Now they are one of the biggest producers of these wind towers. In Izmir, we have a great many number of these companies that are operating in the wind industries. Yes, our future is bright. For that reason, we have to invest more in the infrastructure of the harbors and ports. Yes, the foreign investment. What type of role has foreign investment in Izmir area? We are in touch with a lot of foreign investments, especially they are focusing on tower and wing production. So there are a lot of tower and wing producers in Izmir. In the offshore investments, they are thriving in offshore investment area. But one of the main obstacles in front of this equipment production is the harbor issue. They are part of a process that is working in collaboration with foreign and domestic investors. I believe the future is bright. Thank you so much. Mehmet Volkan Duman. I would like to give the floor to you. especially, please, maybe you can pick it up from hydrogen topic. So hydrogen. Lately, it is one of the popular topics of today. Maybe it will be replacing the gas stations, they say. In this regard, what do you have to say about Turkey's potential about production of hydrogen? Our main objective is transforming everything to electricity power. It would be really smoother in transportation, in industry. There are a lot of processes that has to work with fuel. So hydrogen is primitively important in this sense. Hydrogen is a must. Well, maybe we'll be eliminating coal, we'll be eliminating carbon. Instead of natural gas, we will be producing our own green energy. It is one of the most important strategic targets that we have. Cost is important, but green electricity production in the plants, it will not be any different than production of any other plants. Of course, now we are supporting solar energy production and wind production. Wind energy production, we are supporting with the initiatives, with the incentives. We will continue to let these hydrogen transplant plants develop with these incentives, with solar, geothermal, gas, with all these energy plants. We made some errors. Investing in a timely manner is crucial. Let us not commit the same errors in hydrogen. For that reason, we have to integrate these two projects. Maybe it's a baby step, but we are dreaming of a hydrogen production valley. First time in Turkey, we're establishing a 4 megawatts plant. With the project mechanism that we have, we are supporting another project. It's in it we will be producing the first domestic electrolyzer of Turkey with our own capacity. These are the two main goals that we have. Unfortunately, I don't have my presentation on screen. Our hydrogen valley is in total 38 million euros, and we have received the 30 million of incentives from European Commission. We are implementing a project. We're in the fourth month of this implementation of the project. 4 megawatts of hydrogen plant implementation. Also, Eti Maden is also establishing a sodium bore plant. In terms of storing hydrogen, bore is one of the main important mines that we have. Boron is important. Well, we are also supporting these uh, power plants which will be used in Balıkesir. We will be using the replicas in Europe. We have some important objectives. These 38 million euros of projects, yes, 8 million euros is a record in Turkey in this period where our economy is going through hard times. We have to catch European funds. We have to seize the opportunities of European funds. We have to find it where our topic is offshore and nuclear energies. We have to find these funds and we use it for Turkey, especially maybe in the beginning of 2023, we had some ceremonies of these initial parts of these projects. These are two projects that are ongoing, but these projects are first projects. Maybe we have Kale Ceramic. Kale Ceramic is uh, establishing a furnace, a hybrid furnace that's working with hydrogen and natural gas. 500 tons of hydrogen will be produced, and this hydrogen will be used in 4 different plants. Well, let me show you in the map. You can see the distances. Of course, we have to carry these through pipelines. So we will be carrying it with the truck traders to these industrial areas. We have imminent off-takers, users such as Şişecam, Kale Seramik, Eti Maden, Hidrojen Peloksit, and İçtaş is also included in the list of the consumers. Let's see the main features. In total, 21% of the project is funded by the incentives. 30 million euro is the investment financements by the institutions. It is a valley project which will have 15 members. Regarding with the production of the energies, we will have the Linde carriers. We will have 5 consumers. Eti Maden, TÜBİTAK, MAM, and universities also will help a lot. Work in collaboration. This is a very challenging project, but I hope and I'm sure that we will succeed. In the world, there are around 80 hydrogen valleys. As a Southern Marmara Shore project, we are one of these 80 hydrogen valleys. We have a certificate. We are ranking within the 30 countries of the world. When you visit the website, you can see the details of our project. This is a platform of Hydrogen Valley. Now you can see 2 ongoing projects, and the third one will be the green transformation of the Turkish Blue. And we also submit this project to the Deniz area. It is 50 million euros of a project, budget of a project. That's the general features of the project. Thank you so much.
Sağ olun. Bahsettiğimiz ilk 2 turu tamamladık. Son bir
So we have had 2 rounds, and it's time for your last messages. And just like we started, let's start with the Secretary General of Istanbul Development Agency, Dr. Ahmet Yavuz. Well, I mean, we are at the beginning of this road. Still a lot to discuss, still a lot to do. And remember what is said in the morning session. Surely we are here to support investors. But should we continue to support investors or the industrialists? We should start discussing this, find answers so that we can find ways to strengthen the ecosystem. We need to get together, work hand in hand to, achieve successful results. Once again, thank you, Turek, for organizing such an important event. And in all the events that I've been participating in the last month, I never end my remarks without touching Palestine. Over what has happened and what has been going on in Gaza, let's raise our voice. If we cannot find a solution, let's raise our voice and let it be heard. Just tweet. If you are going to boycott a product, do it. Do whatever you can. Let's remind everyone that we should unite to stand against this violence. Thank you. We fully agree with your messages. So, Izmir Development Agency, Mehmet Yavuz. Let's hear your last remarks. Let me reflect on this one reality of the industry. You know how we always complain that anything and everything is in Istanbul. All roads end in Istanbul. All means and possibilities and the capacity is in Istanbul. Okay, we complain about this all the time. But let's see Turkey as a whole. If we seek a well-balanced and healthy development, we need to make sure that this development is taking place in all corners of Turkey, and this requires working hand in hand. It can start with Izmir, and it can include Marmara region, or the northern part of the Aegean region. This is a great region to focus on, and there are investment clusters. And I think this should receive more attention. Offshore, hydro, there are great opportunities and tremendous potential here. And of course, this is what I want to emphasize and underline in any event that I participate. So let's take the weight of the shoulders of Istanbul. Let's find great alternatives in our geography, because the sector needs this as well. And yes, I agree with the Secretary General as well. We are going through one of the worst historic violence here, and we're always against violence, no matter what the reason behind it is. And yes, if you cannot change the course, raise your voice. Let the world know that you are against what's going on in Gaza. Thank you. Okay, final words from Mr. Tugan. Thank you, Mr. Serhat. So we're living in this new era with cutting-edge technologies. We're thinking of transformation. We're thinking of going green. And agencies should assume responsibility here. That's what we experience. Private sector, institutions, research facilities, they really rely on the existence of these agencies because they have the potential to lead. They're always objective to all parties. So in the coming period, when it comes to green transformation and digital transformation, agencies should fulfill and assume their responsibilities. And one thing, this Marmara Region Development Agency gathered 5 times last year. Let's call it a coordination council. And we fully support the inclusion of Izmir as the northern part of Marmara. Yes, going green and going digital. These two were always the hot topics of those 5 events, and I hope that we will be successful in the future in these areas. And thank you so much for your interest and your participation. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think we've been great with our time, and we still have time. If there are any questions, we can, have a quick Q&A session, and if not, we can end the session. Hi, I'm İskan. I am the Secretary General of Wind Association. We know all development agencies, and we had the opportunity to work together. The next hall is talking about this offshore wind opportunity, and Turkey has a great potential here. So here comes my question. When you say offshore wind energy, let's not limit our thinking to generation and the industry, because only then you can have an added value. And when it comes to the production of equipment and then the components, the business is booming. It's very great. And in Istanbul, offshore and in the port business, that's where all the clusters are. It is concentrated in Istanbul. And then hydrogen, again, is an indispensable part. That's where Southern Marmara comes in, because they are great in that. But I don't know how you positioned yourself, but as Turek, we are here to offer coordination. We are here to cooperate. So thinking of short term, like 3 to 5 years, I believe this short-term period is going to be critical. We're either going to keep up and get on the wagon, or we're going to miss it, like we missed a lot of things in the past. So our industry, our ports, our potential hydrogen, I think if we want to seize the opportunity. The opportunity is here. Maybe we would need another body, is what I'm thinking. But how would you formulate this to be successful and lead the way? Your efforts and your input is critical. So my question is, what to do, what to kickstart, so we can start, talking about the success next year? Well, what a comprehensive question. Let me start with this. As you know, in the past, we had these great ambitions like the local car, local defense industry, or in the marine capabilities. There have been incredible leaps. You're all following, the latest with it. And Mr. Minister has named 12 sectors. And those sectors are going through this paradigm shift globally. So the aviation is not the traditional. Aviation is not traditional anymore, and because on the UAVs we've gone too far. Manufacturing cars, we missed a train, but when it comes to EVs, we're going good. Likewise, in the onshore wind, we are trying to keep up with the latest, but looking at the offshore, I can tell you that we still have the potential to be at the very core of everything that's, going on. And when you take steps in these areas, you're not just, developing that single area. All the subcategories and all sectors will develop with it. I mean, invest in wind so that your marine side can develop too. It'll also feed construction. It'll bring about investments in hydrogen. It'll support steel or iron business. So I think we kickstarted the efforts in a very timely fashion. But then, when it comes to operation and development, yes, local institutions will be great, but we are under the coordination of the Ministry of Industry and Technology, and we just started our cooperation. Let me share you 2 examples. For example, there is this project that we are carrying on. We established the first no-teacher training centers with the support of Eastern Marmara Union. And we're already graduating students. So the Eastern Marmara Development Agency and then the Istanbul Development Agency cooperated to make it happen, and we're seeing full results. And the Trakya Development Agency, Southern Marmara, plus BEBKA, Bursa Bilecik Development Agency, Istanbul Development Agency, 5 agencies are cooperating this digital transformation project. And if there are other development agencies that bear great potential, then of course we would need, future cooperation. And I hope this event will pave the way for it. Thank you.